Hi, everybody. Happy Monday. I hope you had a fabulous spring break, even though I'm sure it was probably quieter than your usual. Hopefully, you had some great family time and got to do some fun creative things and got to get outside a little bit too. So now we're back to it. This week, we are back into our Unit 5 Week 2 assignments for our homeschool days. And because this is kind of a new deal with our distance learning for the days that we would normally be in school, I wanted to take this time to give you a little bit of a lay of the land in Schoology. So I'm going to go ahead and switch my screen so you can see. This is your Schoology view when you log into your course. Mine looks a little different because it is the teacher view, but it's going to be similar. So you're going to start your week out today with our Unit 5 folder just like you normally would. So you'll go ahead into your Unit 5 folder. You'll use your checklist to make sure that you are covering all your bases for your 3 homeschool days. And you will do everything that it says for Unit 5 Week 2, just as if we were right back to it, the day after the weekend, coming back to school like we normally would in our unit. Then the part that gets a little bit tricky or different is those days that you would normally come to class. So for those days, your workshop days, instead you're going to go into this distance learning plans folder, which you are familiar with, and you're going to click here. Right now, the learning plans for this week are gray because, again, this is the teacher view and it's not showing for you yet. But when you go in here today, it will be available. It will be located right under that discussion post video response that you gave before spring break. And in here is everything that you need for those days that you would normally be coming to school. So on those days, you will be doing your IEW assignment brainstorming like we normally would do. I will be holding an online session each week to help kickstart that for you. So everything that you need to know is right here about that. Please make sure that you read it before Tuesday at 10 because there's some preparation that you need to do for our time together to make it the most profitable that it can be. And then you have a workshop math assignment like we normally would for our math rotations. Unfortunately, we can't do those math rotations, but you are going to spend some time in IXL like we usually do in class. And then, as I told you before, we are going to be using News ELA pretty heavily during this distance learning time because it's just a fabulous platform to be practicing the things that we've been learning, both with our reading and with our writing responses. So be sure that you watch this video because it gives more information about how we're going to go about doing that. And then for instructions on how to log in, you'll click here at this link, and that will tell you exactly how to get in there. For science, you are going to complete one of your mystery science assignments, just like you started before spring break. And then for your history assignment, these history assignments are going to be optional. Obviously, if we were in class, they would not be, but because these are different circumstances, and I know that different kids learn different ways, and what might take you a short period of time might take another student a lot longer. So I want to make sure that I'm building in room in your schedule to allow for taking more time on some things that might be a little more challenging since we're not together. So I will be giving you fun history assignments that are optional. I do encourage you, though, if you have the time, to go ahead and do it. So for this particular one, you're going to get to watch a Discovery Ed video that's very entertaining and really great about the Wright brothers. You can either just watch the first 4 minutes or you can watch the full video. And then for those who were in class before we left, we did that Go the Distance activity where you were using your calculator to convert measurements that had to do with that first flight of the Wright brothers. And we had talked about when we came back to class together, we were going to go outside and do this measurement activity with chalk and a yardstick and get to actually see it with our own eyes, how long this flight was, how long it took, and get a better feel for it. So I am challenging you to go ahead and do that if you have the opportunity and the time. But again, it's not required. I'm not going to be asking you to show me proof that you did it or anything like that. But it is going to be a fun assignment that I'm going to give you each week for history. And we'll talk a little bit about that each week, but that's your plan for this week. So, I think the only thing I didn't mention was deer. Please make sure that you are doing deer for 30 to 40-minute sessions at least, where you are doing some free reading time. If you are not finished with your book club book, then that needs to be the priority. And if you are, then just go ahead and read whatever you'd like to. And I just look forward to seeing everybody on Tuesday, and I hope that you have a great week. Thanks so much.